Hi everyone, welcome back. Gain to United report. Manchester United are looking to record successive wins in the Premier League against West Ham on Sunday. United claimed a 2-1 victory over Brentford at Old Trafford last weekend, thanks to second-half goals from Alejandro Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund, and need another 3 points. Erik Ten Hag's side drew 1-1 with Fenerbahce in the Europa League phase on Thursday night, and that leaves just a few days to prepare for the clash at the London Stadium. Christian Eriksen scored United's goal in Turkey, and an improved performance will be required against a West Ham side that is desperate for points after a poor start. Regarding the team news, Harry Maguire, KOBBIE MAINO, and Mason Mount are still unavailable, while Antony could be absent after being stretchered off against Fenerbahce. However, Bruno Fernandes will return from a European suspension, and Jonny Evans could also be available for selection, depending on whether he has recovered from a knock. With Evans expected to return for this game, I would make a defensive change and take Dalot out of the firing line. He has been struggling of late, making a few defensive mistakes, and Martinez has offered balance at left back. That would allow Mazraoui to move to the right. It's pretty clear Casemiro is going to start after he was on the bench against Fenerbahce, but I would keep faith with Ugarte after his breakthrough performance. Eriksen is in excellent form, and Fernandes will obviously come back into the team. It's time to go back to Højlund as well. The front three that started against Brentford look dangerous, and they have the quality to cause West Ham problems. De Ligt and Martinez would be my preferred central defensive partnership, which means Diallo and Mazraoui should start on either side of the defense. Ugarte enjoyed his best game since joining United from PSG in midweek and must retain his starting role alongside Eriksen. Bringing Fernandes back into the team is a no-brainer, and Xerxes should return to the bench after his surprising recall to the starting lineup against Fenerbahce. After Mazraoui started in the number 10 position on Thursday night, who knows what Ten Hag may decide to do in the capital. Nevertheless, Mazraoui should be reinstated at right back with Dalot on the left. At midfield, Ugarte produced his best performance in United colours thus far against Fenerbahce, and now needs to be given the chance to build on that. Fernandes will come back into the team, and Eriksen should claim the final midfield berth. After starting on the bench in midweek, Højlund must start. He was excellent in the win over Brentford last weekend, supported by Garnacho and Rashford either side of him, and they should start as a trio again. Jose Mourinho praised the referee's peripheral vision when he reacted to his sending off in Manchester United's draw against Fenerbahce in the Europa League. Fenerbahce promised to be tricky opponents, but United took the lead in the first half through a brilliant goal from Christian Eriksen, and they were in control at the interval. However, it didn't take Mourinho's side long to equalize when play resumed for the second half, with Youssef En-Nesyri scoring with a header in the 49th minute of the match. Mourinho urged Fenerbahce's fans to get behind his team at his box office pre-match press conference, and the Shukru Saracoğlu Stadium came alive following En-Nesyri's equalizer, which might have contributed to the rush of blood to his head when a penalty appeal was waved away. Fenerbahce's coaching staff sprung up in unison when Manuel Ugarte made a tackle in the box, but the referee didn't entertain the strong penalty appeals, which was the correct decision. Mourinho was shown a red card for his reaction and sent to the stands. He spoke to TNT Sports after the final whistle and said, "I don't want to speak about it. He, the referee, told me something incredible. He told me that at the same time, he could see the action in the box and my behavior on the touchline. I congratulate him because he is absolutely incredible. His peripheral vision during the game, 100 miles per hour, and he had one eye on the penalty situation and one eye on the bench. That is the explanation he gave me, and that's why he's one of the best referees in the world. I watched the incident, and I don't want to speak about the incident." Mourinho added, "They got a point against us, not us against them. We played amazing, and I told the players if we play like this in the Turkish league, then we will destroy everything. We played against a team who is at a superior level than us. The Premier League has more quality and intensity, more pace and everything, so I think my boys did an amazing match. Probably in England, people will talk about 2 or 3 players for Man United who didn't play, but you don't know how many didn't play for us. We had 4 players out of the Europa League licked, we also had injuries, and we finished the game with players out of position. It was a crazy puzzle, but our performance was extraordinary. Onana made 2 incredible saves in our fantastic initial period because we started so well and they scored from the situation that we knew they could hurt us from. But I thought we delivered a phenomenal performance. United have now drawn all 3 of their games in the Europa League phase and are currently sitting outside of the automatic straight to round of 16's qualification places. A picture can paint 1,000 words, and Ahmad didn't look happy when preparing to enter the pitch during Manchester United's game against Fenerbahce on Thursday night. Ahmad was pictured standing on the touchline, waiting to be substituted on, with a glum look as René Hake, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and Andreas Georgsson tried to G him up. There were just minutes of the match remaining, and Ahmad was clearly irked at not starting and then being overlooked for Antony when Marcus Rashford was replaced in a surprising decision. The Brazilian winger was stretchered off in the 89th minute, and that gave Ahmad his chance, but it was too late in the day. Noussair Mazraoui was selected to start as the number 10 in Bruno Fernandes' absence, a position Ahmad has played in the past. He had to deal with 2 setbacks in a single night, so it was understandable to see him looking so disenchanted when he was finally told to warm up, speaking at his post-match press conference. Ten Hag explained his decision and said, "For Ahmad, he is doing well, but we have to reward the performances of Antony in training. He is a threat almost every training. So I felt in that moment to bring him to decide the game. But Ahmad, you saw he had 1 or 2 actions, very pleased with all the effort and most of the players, the quality. I think away from home in Europe in a hectic ambiance, to start with 4 attackers is too much. So I know Mazraoui is very capable to play in that position. Training performances have a huge say in which players are chosen, but Antony has hardly performed on a match day for United, whereas Ahmad has looked full of promise. He ended last season with a flourish and was unfortunate not to start in the FA Cup final. He began the new campaign by starting the opening 5 Premier League games, but instead of kicking on after his man-of-the-match performance against Southampton, his minutes have been reduced. Since Ahmad excelled at St. Mary's Stadium, he has played 6 minutes against Barnsley, 76 against Crystal Palace, 67 against FC Twente, 5 against Tottenham, 68 against FC Porto. He was an unused substitute against Aston Villa and Brentford and was given a cameo against Fenerbahce. You'd struggle to find a United fan who would bring Antony on over Ahmad, and the latter might be considering his options after seemingly slipping down the pecking order. Ahmad, now 22, has entered the final year of his United contract. The club have a 1-year extension option and plan to negotiate fresh terms to safeguard his long-term future. But Ahmad may need to be convinced he is at the right club to progress in his career. Starting a defender as a number 10 when Ahmad played in that role on loan with Sunderland was bad enough for the Ivory Coast international before Antony got the nod ahead of him. Ahmad must have been frustrated in Istanbul, and those decisions compounded a challenging few weeks for him when he was enjoying the best stint of his time at the club, only for his progress to be suddenly halted. Maybe Ahmad has downed tools in training, and Ten Hag is seeing something the public aren't, but it's been bizarre to see him given fewer and fewer minutes in recent matches. Just when he was enjoying the breakthrough season he was desperate for, he's seemingly back at square one. It has been 1 step forward and 2 back for the winger. He has a decision to make on his future and has received mixed signals from Ten Hag. Nobody could blame Ahmad for pushing for a departure if his predicament continues. But it's also possible he might be tempted to stick around and outlast Ten Hag. The frown on Ahmad's face in Turkey showed what he was thinking, and it will be fascinating to see how often he features in the coming weeks.